So it's a toy like Kenner action figures. Ah. That was actually an interesting documentary when I was watching that about the Kenner action figures.
Kenner action figures?
Yeah, they were the people who got the license to do the Star Wars toys. Like, you know, the really old ones, but also the later ones in the years. And the thing is, they had made such a good deal on it, because at the time it was an unknown franchise. And only later, when George Lucas was like releasing or about to release the third film, did he consider, you know what, I want to change this deal because it's far too good for them. And plus, he wanted a much larger cut of the money.
That's always how it goes.
Yeah. Basically, the original deal was from the profit of the toys, Kenner made 99%. Fox and Lucas would get 0.5%. So it was a very good deal for Kenner. Like a really good deal, that is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the majority of the whole profit? Whew. Of course that was a good deal for them. But, like I said, you know, George wanted more money, so... It was kind of funny. I don't know what the hell inspired George Lucas to do this, but there was like a scene where they were doing renegotiations for the contract, and he hired... I don't know what possessed George Lucas to do this, but he hired a random muscle man to come into the meeting and just stand there and flex and to basically intimidate the lawyers there. Like you said, there's this massive man there just bulking and flexing, and then at one point just slams his hands down in the face and screams, "I don't like where this is going!" Yeah, exactly. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, the guy thought, you know, what the hell? But he's a lawyer, so he stuck to his guns, so the toy company still made a decent profit, but now Lucas had quite a bit as well, so everyone was happy. Apart from Kenner Toys years later. Because after you know, Return of the Jedi, they were waiting on him for making the next film. And I think I don't have to tell you where that went.
Was that... Oh, wait, no, that's not when they did the holiday special, right?
No, I can't remember if they did cover that or not. But that was something that Lucas had signed off on. But, yeah. No, what I'm saying is that they were waiting for the next movie, and of course, the next movie never materialized. Did it?
Yeah, for another 15 years.
Exactly. So the toy company were a bit bummed out, which is a bit of a shame, because they had some great designs for what was to come. Like, they had ideas of things that would be in, like, a Star Wars Episode 7. Like, one of them was Stormtroopers. One of them was the Stormtroopers using a, like, you know the AT-AT? They had an AT-AT, but the top of it was missing, and it was all rusted out, and it had a Stormtrooper in the back there, like, mounting a big-ass gun on it. And I thought that was kind of cool, the idea that they were repurposing their old machines to keep fighting. Or rather, like, they could be fighting as resistance or something. But yeah, they basically heard nothing from George Lucas until he said himself in the papers that he wasn't going to do those films. So the toy company were just kind of sat there, like, what do we do? Not like it matters much to him. I love that they had one of those in the cast, David Prowse. Well, David Prowse is huge, putting off an angry moment with the West Country accent. I don't know, he can do it. If you look at some of the original footage where they had David Prowse as the voice of Darth Vader.
Oh god.
You've seen that, have you?
No, but I can just imagine.
It was before they got James Earl Jones to do the voice.
Yeah. Apparently he wasn't intimidating enough.
Yeah, if you watched that bit, you would completely understand that.
But at least he managed to stay in the suit throughout everything, right? I think he was in the suit the entire time.
I like that.
Just they had someone else do the voice instead.
Yeah, James Earl Jones. I like that.
And originally they were gonna have the actor in the suit do the voice, but
Luke, oi man, your father.
that's kind of why they didn't do that.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, bloody thing. You know what? I'm gonna have to look that up because that was hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up just to show you guys because it's fucking hilarious. I'll do it in the Discord as well, so you don't have to swap over. Oh yeah, click on that. Change window. That's it. Not sure if you can hear it, but we'll see. I don't care about Uber Eats. I don't want to get copyright claimed either. Right. Anyway.
Finding the right voice
Here we go.
for Darth Vader was another challenge.
And action!
Lucas had never intended to use the on-set vocal performance of David Prowse.
Start tearing this ship apart piece by piece until you find those tapes. Find the passengers in this vessel. I want them alive!
I want them alive!
The Darth Vader mask because he would do the real dialogue. Trying to curse Carrie Fisher or something.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic...
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take
Go away.
An alliance!
Terrifying at the same time because we didn't know what Darth sounded like. That was the first time we heard him. We're like, is that it? Is it gonna be some Scottish guy or what is this?
West Country!
Voice would later be replaced with a more menacing performance, provided by classically trained stage and film actor James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
George had hired David Prowse, but he said he wanted a so-called darker voice, and not in terms of ethnic, but in terms of timbre. And the rumor is that he thought of Orson Welles, and then probably thought that Orson might be too recognizable. So what he ends up is picking a voice that was born in Mississippi, raised in Michigan, and was a stutterer. And that happened to be my voice.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is much better. But that was the funny thing I found was just that the voice was so different. There we go. Did it change? No, it didn't. Still didn't change. Okay, I'll change it again. That's it.
That's fair.
But that was it, yeah. James Earl Jones, who, I quite liked him in that, Coming to America. Oh god
He
damn.
plays the king.
Yeah. Because there was a bit he referenced Star Wars in it. When they were saying, you know, oh, should we tell them you're coming? And he goes, no, I shall deal with them myself. Someone clearly had fun with that, using him as to say that line. Especially as the king, he is quite intimidating as well. Intimidating in a different way, but yes.
After all, if you believe Obi-Wan, he's a master of evil.
I'm not sure I believe Obi-Wan anymore. Not after what we were discussing last time with that, he knew that Luke and Leia were related, according to the prequels. So why the hell didn't he, tell Luke this? I don't want to know.
I think I have an idea, though. Imagine telling this farm boy from Tatooine, you're related to the Princess of Alderaan. She's your sister.
Well, I mean...
And just imagine his freak out that he's literally related to royalty.
Well, I mean... but still...
I mean, that's my theory about why they didn't tell Luke in canon. Because he'd just freak out and...
The excuse I would have is that he wouldn't have had time to tell him. Because yes, there is the ensuing freak out, but of course they were gonna be, you know, they didn't exactly have much time together for him to discuss these things, did he?
That's another logical reason why they didn't tell him in canon.
Although it doesn't excuse, as Darvel said last time, him witnessing Luke's hot for sister face and not saying anything. So I just love that when it's hot Luke's hot for sister face.
There's also the fact that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, they explained it as, we're just protecting them so they can't know each other.
That's stupid. I mean...
Yeah, it's a bit silly, in my opinion.
I mean, the idea of separating them so they don't know each other is a good way to protect them. Because if you're looking for twins, you wouldn't be looking for one separate child each, would you?
You wouldn't be looking for a farm boy and a princess and think, they're twins.
No, exactly.
Twinsies.
Exactly. They're going to be so far apart, you can't even... There couldn't even be a mistake of them running into each other situation. You know?
Because they're from two different worlds. One's a farm boy, one's royalty.
Yep. Because that's the explanation for that, but that's why I thought it was a bit stupid that they went to make a Obi-Wan series, because it's like, oh, what's the adventure gonna be? Today I had Jawa soup. Tomorrow, Jawa soup. I can't think of many stories that would happen, especially as at least the way it's phrased in the original trilogy was that you know, Luke knows of Obi-Wan, but just as like an old hermit that, you know, everyone knows of, but you know, it's like, oh, he's just some old hermit that keeps to himself, no one important. So what exactly could have happened in the series to you know, to make it entertaining? It's not like The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, where you could easily make entertaining stories out of that.
Too bad they didn't do so well with Book of Boba Fett, but that's another story entirely.
I mean, I quite like the Book of Boba Fett personally.
Some people said that that's just not how Boba Fett works.
Well, I don't
Like-
see him as becoming Kingpin. No. I could see
I
that.
agree.
Yeah, I can't really see him as becoming
don't s-
Kingpin.
You don't see him going from bounty hunter to crime boss, but that's what happened.
But considering the other stuff they've done, that's not as massive of a departure, in my opinion.
True.
You know? Like, I mean, yeah, sure. I generally don't think Boba Fett would go from, like, bounty hunter to Kingpin. But that's far more fucking likely than the idea of, oh, there's going to be an exciting TV show of watching old Ben Kenobi sitting around on his ass eating soup. You know?
Which isn't. I mean, that does sound like it would be what would happen based on what we heard from The New Hope
Yeah,
about
but
Uncle Ben.
considering they actually they were making a series, suggests that that's not what was going to happen. They were probably going to have, like, hero moments and things. And it's like, okay, he had hero moments, and then years later, oh, he's just some old man. You don't know who he is at all, Luke. Because if you remember, he asked, he said, I think there's an old Ben, and then he asked his parents about him, and they were like, oh yeah, he's just a crazy old man. Just some
The
crazy old
explanation
man,
they
you know?
had was Luke knew that old Ben was a hermit, but not that he was a Jedi.
Well, yeah, that makes
Like, knew
sense,
about-
obviously, because
like,
you
knew
wouldn't
about old
advertise it during, considering Darth Vader's in charge. You wouldn't advertise that you're a Jedi.
Like, knew that old Ben was existing and around.
Oh,
once he
yeah.
met him, but not much else about.
No,
Okay.
like, it's obvious that he knows nothing about him apart from, oh look,
He's
oh
a
that's how
crazy
you
old
block.
hermit in the desert.
Yeah, it's just a crazy old hermit in a desert, which doesn't really give you much to work with, does it?
Like, how do you do an Obi-Wan series on Tatooine without messing up canon like that?
You
So
couldn't-
they decided.
You couldn't do it on Tatooine, but I'd argue you could come up with, say, stuff he did before he got to Tatooine. What the hell?
Which is also not what happened.
Well, no, but like I said,
I mean, it's intriguing that they decided to go the Princess Leia route.
But
Because
yeah,
it explains
I-
how Princess Leia knew that he was Obi-Wan Kenobi and not old Ben,
yeah.
which is a question I don't think
Well-
anyone wanted answers to, but
That's
it's a
why I was saying that I could see them doing like a series before Tatooine, you know? Like if he just say appeared on Tatooine one day as an old man, as a hermit, that would make a bit more sense that he would have had adventures beforehand, you know?
Yeah, I agree that the Obi-Wan series should have
I mean,
been
I'm sure in canon that's not what happened, but I think that's a bit more of a believable idea because you can still have adventures, you can still do exciting things, and it would also, like you just said, explain how Princess Leia knew who he was. You know,
Yeah,
like maybe he went to Alderaan a few times and actually met with people there who were sympathetic, and he was basically doing the equivalent of like just visiting to make certain things were okay, perhaps, or something happened and he had to save her. Maybe if oh no, she mentioned specifically that he worked with her father in the Rebel Alliance, so maybe they had meetings there or something. I don't know of what to do next, and she just simply knew him as like an associate. You know?
I mean that second thing you said, something happened to Princess Leia is exactly what actually happened in the series.
Yeah, see, that's more believable to me than, oh look, he's just gonna be hanging out on Tatooine, saying hello to Luke, who never knew who he was beforehand. Unless they were gonna do some weird fucking Jedi mind bullshit to him. He's going to break into Luke Skywalker's brain pan, like the Jedi in what was it called? KOTOR. That's the only way I could have seen that series ending if they wanted to try and keep it in canon. Is that yes, he had adventures and stuff on this planet, on Tatooine and that. But then he erased all of Luke's memories.
If they wanted to go that route, that seems like the only way they could have done it.
Yeah. It's a stupid way. I don't like it at all. But if they were going to go down that route of, you know, he was on Tatooine this whole time and he somehow communicated with Luke despite Luke not knowing who he is, then that is the only way I can see that making sense.
But they found a way to somehow make Luke and Obi-Wan meet without breaking canon. Because remember that toy that Luke has in New Hope?
Yes.
They had to find a way for Obi-Wan to give it to him.
I mean,
breaking canon.
They didn't have to.
No, they decided the story is Obi-Wan gave him that toy. Which I think, no, it would have been better to just say that, like, he bought it with his own money or something.
Yeah.
No, Obi-Wan gave him that toy.
I think, yeah, and the idea of having him buy it himself, again, cements the whole, farm boy, thing as well, that he did it with his own money. If anything, could be shown that he, you know, he was learning how to do things himself. Because if you really want to have Obi-Wan involved at some point, you could at least have him as some, you know, stranger who, like, maybe he says something to him that he takes on as, like, advice. Like some sort of word of wisdom. Doesn't mean he gets as involved as buying the whole toy thing for himself, but he may have just been like a random stranger he knocked into, you know? Which again would explain why he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah. They still kept it as Obi-Wan is old Ben.
Yeah, that was it.
Obi-Wan.
Many years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. That was it. So, yeah. So, okay, that bit is already explained without the need for an Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, the Obi-Wan series didn't really need to exist.
No. I mean, like,
other than explaining a few things, like how Leia knew that he was Obi-Wan and not Ben Kenobi.
Well, like I just said, that was already explained right there. When it was saying, you know, you served with my father during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But even then, there's nothing I can really see that would be needed from making an Obi-Wan series. I'm sure it would be possible to make one, but it's not. There's no real, you know, there's no burning questions I have about what Obi-Wan has been doing his life, you know?
Exactly. I mean, the Ahsoka series makes more sense to me than Obi-Wan Kenobi. And they're gonna have a season 2 of Obi-Wan as well. Or like, you didn't even need season 1.
I love that. Oh, I can see what's needed for the Obi-Wan series. Money for the House of Mouse. Yeah.
That's That's about it. Just more reasons to buy Disney Plus, okay?
Yeah, nowadays, since they've been making some trash, it feels like there's less reason to get Disney Plus, in all honesty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because apparently people don't like She-Hulk.
Don't they? Huh.
Like episode 3, the recent episode, had her and her legal aid or whatever it is dancing.
I don't know, I've not watched it, so I can't tell.
But that's the meme everyone's talking about why She-Hulk has ruined Marvel or whatever.
I find it funny anyone can suggest that she's ruined Marvel. Like, what
All
the...
because of one little dance scene. They're saying, no, She-Hulk Attorney at Law has ruined Marvel. And
Yeah, and unfortunately SOB seems to be part of that bloody crowd with that disgusting meme he did with the whole She-Hulk, they them Hulk, and it's like,
yeah, I still don't get why that's supposed to be funny. Because there's no story.
Well, I'll tell you why it's supposed to be funny, transphobia, but... But no, I get what you mean. It's not like they've made She-Hulk trans or anything, or so it doesn't even make sense as a joke of transphobia. You know? It's like I think it was just a typical it's an anti-SJW joke. Isn't that funny? Like, no.
Probably.
It's cringe, is what it is. It's very cringe. It's not funny at all, SOB. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't think of anything... Though, again, like I said, I haven't actually watched the series, so I can't say for myself... anything... that's in the show or not in the show.
Yeah.
I can't tell you if people are saying it's woke as a thing or not. But I can tell you that them saying that the that the Resident Evil series is woke is rather silly. Saying it's a woke failure, and it's like, it's a failure, but I wouldn't say it was a woke failure.
Everything has to be woke these days. No, it doesn't.
No, that series isn't, by any stretch of the imagination. The only way you would think that is if you seriously think that you can't have any dark-skinned actors in a TV show about Resident Evil.
I mean, there's Marvin from Resident Evil 2. He is black.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that you can have dark-skinned people in Resident Evil.
Exactly.
He already exists in there.
Yep. But also, they did use they used this one actor for Wesker, and I'm sure there's going to be the argument of, oh, but Wesker's white. Like, yeah, but I mean, even if they did like a retelling of the first game, and they still used him as Wesker, he'd fit in perfectly because he's a fucking good actor for what he is. I forget his name though.
The thing about Wesker is it's not about his skin color.
No, it's the same with a lot of characters. It's generally not about their skin color.
It's about how evil he is.
Yes.
As long as you can nail that, it doesn't matter what skin color Wesker is.
Although I think even then they haven't quite nailed. Like, he wasn't really seen as evil, but he was definitely someone who had questionable morals. You know?
The reason why is because if you look at the backstory for Wesker hard enough, Wesker's just a name. That's it.
Yeah.
He's like a kind of child experiment kind of thing. So it doesn't matter who has the name Wesker as long as he's evil.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't really consider the Wesker in the series evil, because he, You know, he doesn't really come off as evil as much as like just someone with misguided morals. If you get what I mean.
In the Netflix series.
That's
right?
what I'm on about. Netflix series, yeah, just the Netflix series I'm on about. Not the games. I know very well that's certainly not the case of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I've been watching it just because I'm curious of where it's going, but it's certainly not a series I can recommend to anyone. You know?
Especially if they like the games, right?
Yeah. Like I said to some people, the best things I can recommend for if you like the games is the animated films.
Yeah, I agree. Since they take place canon in universe to the
Yeah.
games anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the characters even act like how they're meant to, you know? They act like, you know, Leon acts like Leon, and so
Chris
on.
acts like Chris and all
Yeah,
that.
etc., etc. They act like they're fucking characters. They're not like, oh, I've rewritten this character entirely for this season, or stupid shit like this. What the hell? I still don't get why Luke is now sliding on this thing. Whee!
To collect coins, of course.
Hmm.
He needs coins. How else is he gonna purchase a ride off Hoth? He doesn't have the ship right now, so.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, it's not. I wouldn't say the series is god awful. You know, it's watchable. It's watchable, but it's not. I wouldn't recommend it. I prefer the other Netflix. I prefer the other Netflix Resident Evil series that they did. That was fully animated.
Yeah. The one that's supposed to explain things between Resident Evil 2 and 4.
Is it? Oh.
I thought it was. It was supposed
No.
to be like how Leon became an agent for the White House kind of thing.
No, it's set after that. It's definitely set after that because they bring up that that Leon is a special agent, and the one guy was saying, yeah, well, he's just a special agent because he happened to rescue the president's daughter, and he was just in the right place at the right time.
Oh, so it takes place after Resident Evil 4.
Definitely. More than certainty it does, yeah. Because that's what they mentioned that, and Leon, he's definitely a bit more. I'd say a little bit more serious, but he still cracks his one-liners. You know?
Because that's just Leon.
Yeah, exactly. That is just Leon. He still cracks his one-liners, but he doesn't, like, do them as much as, say, Resident Evil 4. So it's like the stuff in Resident Evil 4 has gotten to him, but not to a ridiculous state that he's become Chris Redfield.
Not like he was in the most recent animated movie.
Oh, which one was that?
Degeneration.
Oh, yeah, Degeneration.
Where Leon was a drunk
Oh, yeah.
because of what happened in Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad. He did like I said, he had kind of mellowed out, but he wasn't. That wasn't the name, it was? Huh. Yeah, but he wasn't, you know, completely like that and had like a drunk depressive. He was definitely maybe not as jokey as his original self, but he certainly wasn't like that, all depressed and everything.
Yeah. Because that movie takes place between 6 and 7.
If anything, this
It's
takes... yeah.
It's like the final adventure that Leon and Chris and everyone have before Resident Evil 7 came out.
But that was the fun kind of thing of that. I can't remember what it's called now. That one is... Oh! No, now I know what it's called. I think it was called, like... Eternal Darkness, was it?
Yeah, something Darkness.
Yeah, that was it. That's the thing by... Well, I'm not sure if it's by Netflix or if it's just, you know, they published it,
Licensing
therefore...
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. It could be like one of those, but... KWF is dead. Huh? What are you on about, Darfel? Sorry, I missed that.
WF.
KWF.
KWF.
KWF is dead. Like, it seems they're actually giving up. KWF.
What's KWF?
No idea. To be honest, that's why I'm asking. Oh, the trans hate and it's a trans hate and doxing site apparently.
That's a good thing, I think.
Oh wait, now I know what you're talking about. Kiwi Farms, yeah. Kiwi Farms. Which the first time I heard of Kiwi Farms, they were doing what you could call quote unquote good stuff because the people they were attacking were things like child and animal abusers. So, you know, I've got no problem with people who, you know, attack those kind of dickheads, but when they started going real trans hating, that's when it's like, no. People who are trans are not causing any issues. Unlike the other people that they were reporting on, like I said, people who were serial animal and child abusers, for example. So then when I heard about all this trans stuff, I was thinking, oh shit. So I stopped watching the one guy that would always reference Kiwi Farms. He was even defending Kiwi Farms at some point, basically saying, oh, these people are like the minorities in here. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really help your case. Yep, celebrate right away. They're actually giving up after their Russian hosting and DDoS provider gave up. They're basically out of options, so they're giving up. And so Darvel's celebrating, which, you know what, go ahead, Darvel. I certainly won't stop you. In fact, I'll even join you in that.
Yeah. I'm celebrating today anyways.
Oh, what's that?
My mom's birthday.
Oh, awesome. Happy birthday for her, then.
She's, let's just say, old.
I would say this, I'd be tempted to say the same thing about my mum because her birthday is coming up as well. Along with mine. So it's impossible to forget because her birthday is like 2 days before mine. Oh yeah, this fucker. Now that's a probe droid, Darvel. Look at that thing.
That must be the busted up pro droid you fought earlier. Just reborn.
It's the mother of all probe droids. That was a big fucking probe droid. Oh shit. Get them using save states. I'd rather not have bloody Yoda picking on me. Because it appears on the like game over screen, and you've got so many tries, and it just had Yoda going. When you click on try again, he goes do or do not. There is no try. And it's like, thank you, Yoda. I really wanted to be insulted today. Not the most supportive thing Yoda could have said, but you know. I mean, this one was bad enough, this drone. Oh, what the hell? Shrapnel killed me! Like I said, the shrapnel kills you in this game, which fucking... I mean, this game is basically a copy of the previous one, let's be honest. Though I can't remember doing that in the last one. That's what must have been what I was thinking of with the guard. Do-do-do-do-do. But yeah, those movies, I quite liked those movies, even if they're not too accurate with the characters like that one of Degeneration. It was still fun, you know? It was still, you could easily look at that and still say, yeah, that's Resident Evil.
True. I just liked it because Rebecca Chambers came back. I've missed her so much. Like, what has she been doing since
That's a good question.
Spencer Mansion incident? Like,
maybe she's been doing Billy. Who knows? Because Billy's disappeared.
oh god.
If you remember Billy from Resident Evil 0.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, did you ever see me when I streamed that game?
No, I wasn't watching you back then.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I did 2 versions of that game. I streamed it once, and then I did a kind of thing for October where I called it Revisited, where I played a lot of the other games, including the originals, and tried to get different endings. And for Resident Evil 0, I also wanted to replay that because after you finish it the first time, you get Wesker mode, where Billy gets replaced with Wesker. And you get all of Wesker's psychic powers, as well as Rebecca ends up becoming like a goth vampire look as well. So that's another reason I thought you might like that.
I remember hearing about Wesker mode.
But yeah, she had a goth vampire look in Wesker mode. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a thing. But yeah, it was, I'm sure you can find the image somewhere online, but yeah, she looks pretty stunning in her, like, goth mode. Right, let's see if I stay here. Oh, you found it, have you?
No, I'm doing something else.
Oh. I could have sworn the way you were going, you were probably looking at it.
I'm role-playing right now. And
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out what my next response is going to be.
Fair, fair.
You ever role-play?
Yep,
Text role-play?
yep.
Oh.
And if you want to be more specific, ERP as well.
I've done that too.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty much what you meant.
No, I'm just doing regular roleplay.
Alright, fair enough. Fucking damn eel. This boss fight probably wouldn't be as bad if it didn't just keep respawning this fucking eel. But yeah, I thought Rebecca Chambers looked great in that game.
You mean the movie?
No, in the game I mentioned, where she was all...
the gothic vampire version of it?
Yeah, the gothic vampire version of her.
I am keeping up sometimes with what you're saying.
No, I get it. Yeah, there we go. No, it was just my frustration in this. I was going, ugh.
It respawns anyways.
Shit. God damn you. Oh wait, what's the time? Oh, it's about... fair enough.
Midnight?
No. Not quite yet. No, I just have to be mindful of the time because I do my role-playing today. Shattered Star, I think it... yeah. Shattered Star, where I play a complete dumbass.
I already do that.
Well, I play a barbarian. Well, her class is fighter, but she's had a barbarian kind of upbringing. It's quite funny, one of the characters has it where, like, she's made a rule where she can only speak if she puts her hand up, so I just keep putting my hand up and being like, okay, I want to say this, and then every time she does that, she's treated like a child by this other character. It's like, very good, Khalida, well done!
Oh, God.
And it's fucking hilarious.
Hang on, let me focus on this real quick.
Yeah, that's alright. Oh, god damn it. Ah. I was getting somewhere. Very good, Khalida. Well done.
You'll get it eventually.
It was really funny with this one other character that also kind of treats her like a dumbass because she is a dumbass. And they went into this room at one point, this character did, and the other people were like, yeah, fascinating room that.
Well, my character in this roleplay, well, the main one I had before he died,
Yeah.
at least, was considered a dumbass, an idiot. But because of that, he was also considered so unpredictable that even the admin, like DM
Yeah.
of our roleplay, says no one else can play him but you. He's so unpredictable that you're the only one who can play him right.
That should be quite the compliment then.
Yeah.
To have such a unforgettable character that they can't imagine anybody else playing that character.
He didn't last very long in the roleplay story.
Ooh, what? His stupidity didn't kill him, did it?
Actually did.
But yeah, it's kind of funny that this other character that also doesn't think well of her. They went into the room because these female mercenaries were like, yeah, it's an interesting room in there. He went in there, came back out, and his voice had changed. Now, we didn't know necessarily what this meant until he took his helmet off, where he is now a she.
That explains a lot.
You're like, yeah, and then, you know, we even point this out to them, and the character's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean, what's weird about me? There's nothing weird about me, what are you talking about? And then we're just like, because, yeah, this character was not going to listen to us, no matter what we said. And then when we finally got out of the cave and got to a river, they look into the river and they're like, what the hell? It's like, well, we told you. Can't blame anyone else at this point.
Well, the way my character died with his stupidity was I went too far into the metagame.
Ah.
Because my character had this ability to know things.
Uh-huh.
He just knew things. That was the canon explanation, at least.
Huh.
But in terms of gameplay, it was because I was metagaming. But the DM just kind of allowed it, like, I don't really care that you're metagaming, we'll just figure out an explanation in universe for why he just knows things.
Usually metagaming is always frowned upon, but it's you can make it work for you in certain circumstances. Like it kind of did.
It wasn't even intentional. It just kind of happened and we just stuck with it. But he went off on his own, doing his own little thing. At least that's the in-universe explanation for it. He just wandered off from the group.
Don't split the party!
He got captured by the main villain that we were after at that time. A mob boss.
Alright. This does not sound like it ended well.
And because the mob boss knew magic, she used it on him. And killed him like that. It's a magic that uses shadows.
Huh. Oh shit. Do you actually use any dice in this kind of role-playing thing, or is it purely purely text?
Yeah, at the time it was dice rolls and all that for battles. Otherwise, it was flavor play, role play.
That does remind me of a fun game system I experienced when I went to this convention. There was one that was kind of like that, where essentially, the only kind of rules were what role was a success and what wasn't. And it was... it was a system that quite proudly said you can do insane, like, martial arts things. Like, say, you could run towards the enemy that's firing guns at you and run on the bullets. You know, it was kind of a flexible system where there weren't really rules for you running on bullets, but it was like, if you can pass it and you can sell it in an entertaining way, you can do it.
Well, as I was saying, my character was pretty much ripped apart by the mob boss.
Yikes.
I'm not sure how much detail I can go into it on your stream.
That's fine, I've got 18 plus. I've got 18 plus, okay. I'm not afraid.
Flesh ripped apart.
Ah, weasels rip my flesh.
Melted down to the bone.
Ooh.
While he's still living.
Plus, I was also gonna say, Doug, I mean, I've fucking streamed Harvester. That's a game with a lot of messed up stuff in it.
Yeah, his flesh was ripped apart, bones like melted down to the bone, kind of thing. His ribs were pulled out, kind of thing. Which
really is a kind of mafia sort of thing there. Melting someone down with acid.
Lastly, his brain was melted down into smoothing inside his skull.
Yummy.
A very different kind of yummy.
That did remind me of something that did make me kind of cringe on stream, though, because there was this game where you have these people that have these psychic powers, and different people can do different things. One of them could, like, project images and things into people against their will, and you have a run-in with this person without knowing who they are. They basically get into your head and then made a really disturbing fantasy where this woman that you kind of like is all like, your brain is just so delicious. And while you're in this chair, she's like taking spoonfuls of brain out of your skull and eating it in front of you. Now, for obvious reasons, the game doesn't show you this, but it certainly goes into detail of how kind of messed up it is with the guy even in this imagination kind of enjoying it. He isn't in real life, but in this imagination it's like, oh, he's getting all this, like, when she's eating it, she's like, he's enjoying it as well. Which was messed up as all hell.
Oh, and the other thing about my character that was famous.
Or infamous. For the sounds of it.
Punches things.
Yeah, that.
Like, literally, his only weapon is his fists.
That sounds a bit like.
He literally dented a metal shield with his fist.
That. My character hasn't quite gone to that extent, but she does like to go around smashing things as her way of fixing it.
Yeah, that's what my character did too. Don't touch that console. Oh, this console literally rips the whole thing out. Which is a moment that actually did happen in the roleplay. Where we were fighting a scientist, and the scientist is like, this console is important, don't touch it.
Oh, what, this one?
So my character took the console and literally ripped the entire thing out. As his way of messing around with the console was just to get the entire thing out. Ooh, this console. I like the look of this console.
It was
Rips
kind of
the entire thing out like a spine in Mortal Kombat.
It's kind of funny, and that same character I was saying about that was all like, you know, well done, well, you know, with the whole hand rising thing. That same character did something phenomenally stupid that I'm pretty certain my character was going to do if she didn't do it first.
What?
They had found the corpse of one of the Rune Lords, which were these powerful and evil lords that lived many, many years ago. And there was a corpse of her that was perfectly preserved. And what they figured was that this was not a corpse, but rather a clone, created via the clone spell. The idea being that when you get a chance, you can relocate your soul into that body. So her solution was to stab it. The problem being is that these lords were masters of magic.
Oh boy.
So what happened to her was, it seemed like she died, but then the body wakes up. Yep, she's been changed into her body now.
Oh,
But
God.
one of the funniest things is, the character was the Rune Lord of Lust.
Oh no.
And because she was the Rune Lord of Lust, this temple of hers that we're inside of has lots and lots of naked depictions of her. So for fun, we're like, oh, let me guess, a naked depiction of this character here. And it's like, it's not me! But yeah, it was unintentionally hilarious and yet somewhat beneficial because these like female mercenaries, they thought they were already serving this woman. So when they saw her, they're like, what are you doing here? And who are these strangers that you're with? Because, and again, the actual Rune Lord wasn't here. I don't know where the Rune Lord is, or if we'll ever find out, but it was a kind of demon that had taken her appearance that was commanding them around. Which, it was believable, because again, like I said, the person she was pretending to be was one of these ancient wizards that had pretty much their own form of magic. Messed up form of magic. Sin magic, basically. Hence why she was the Rune Lord of Lust. Plus, their whole culture corrupted the god that they originally followed. Like, her tenets were things like wealth, which became greed.
Sorry, give me a sec.
That's right.
Okay. Mom, my friend says happy birthday. I don't think you heard that last part. She says thank you.
Nah. There we go. I'll wait for you to get back then, or are you already back?
No, my mom just came in
Oh,
room to remind me to do homework.
Ah. Fair enough. So yeah, that was quite Yeah, so we've had that situation where it's like, her normal body is lifeless and now in the tomb, whereas she now is walking around as the ancient Wizard of Lust. The ancient Lord of Lust.
Oh god.
But yeah, oh, that's what I was saying, yeah, the original tenets of this god were things like, wealth, like a comfortable wealth, and they've been transformed into greed. And, you know, things like that. Where the original tenet was something far more neutral, and then they just turned it into the absolute most corrupt version of it. And as you can guess, there's 7 of them.
Of course.
Greed, gluttony, wrath.
It's greed, gluttony, wrath, pride,
Yeah.
lust, sloth. I forget the last one.
So greed, gluttony, lust,
I don't-
sloth.
I don't exactly remember all of those
Greed,
7
gluttony,
deadly sins.
greed, gluttony, wrath, sloth. Envy?
Oh, envy.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Apparently the Lord of Envy didn't like the one of Lust.
I can imagine several reasons why that would be.
Yeah. She was also female as well, so she was also kind of... how dare you be sexier than me? Oh, avarice.
Avarice?
That's another term for envy, essentially.
Oh.
Because it's what the lantern rings are based on as well. Like the orange ring is avarice. Which is why there's only one of those lanterns, because they kill the others. Damn it. There we go.
If you were to ask me what's the dumbest thing your character has ever done, I'd answer with fall in love with a serial killer.
Well, that's not necessarily dumb. If they're a very successful serial killer, then they're the perfect person to speak to if you want to hide a body.
Well, considering this world is fights every day, so... You kind of learned why you shouldn't fall in love with a serial killer. They don't last long. And that's why you don't fall in love with a serial killer.
Oh, they didn't have any stamina.
Not much.
That was a bad...
We were in a
Shit.
fight, right?
That was a bad joke, that was. Yeah, in a fight.
We were in a fight with some zombie pirates.
Of course it was.
The captain managed to kill the serial killer waifu.
No.
Or at least, like, managed to injure her enough that she basically couldn't last longer. While my character took 3 shots in the face with a hand cannon.
Ooh.
and survived.
Yikes.
Because, you know, there's the whole health and
Yeah.
and dice rolls.
Yep. Of course, it always depends on the system, because there's always ways around that.
So the zombie captain had a hand cannon, right?
Hmm.
My character was fighting him up close and personal.
Oh no.
He just walked up and started fighting him, right?
Hmm.
I think it was like twice or so.
Yeah.
Once or twice. The hand cannon got a crit. Like a natural 20.
Yeah.
So the flavor play was the hand cannon was stuck right into my character's face and fired.
Oof.
Like once or twice or something. Or 3 times. I forget how many times. My character still kept on fighting. Like 2 or 3 shots of hand cannon in the face. That was very powerful too, so that's why everyone thought, wow, your character is so stupidly current.
Talk about stubborn.
We also managed to beat the pirates and took their ship.
Nice. Where else can you find a ship that was once owned by zombies?
Other than just steal it.
Well,
Kill the crew and steal it.
I meant, where else could you find one if you were to sell it? That would be a good selling point, wouldn't it?
We killed the zombie pirates. Here's a pirate ship. It's a zombie pirate ship now.
But are they zombie pirates or pirate zombies?
Both.
Yes! It's fucking dead! No, it isn't! Shit! What the fuck is this shit?
Whoops.
That took me so long to do. And then it fucking wasn't dead. What the
So
hell?
long. So long.
Jesus. Yeah, like I said, the health bar is nothing to joke at. I'll tell you a funny story that happened the other day in Starfinder, actually. Wasn't last week, but the week before. The, we were meant to be transporting weapons to this, like, war-torn world. And these people were dicks, right? You know, they essentially had, a concentration camp going on. These were hobgoblins that had owned this, planet, and it was under their control. And we were meant to deliver weapons to them. The problem was, well, the whole thing is it's set up where you're meant to fail these missions. The first mission we had to deliver these berries to this guy on this other planet. We picked them up, no problem. We got attacked by goblins on motorcycles. Again, that was fine, we took them out. But then when we got there, we found that the buyer was dead. And his
when that happens.
his place of employ was under new management. So now it's like, well, you know, where are we going to get the money? Because we need the money to pay for these berries. And they were like, oh, I'll pay you this much, which is about less than half price. And it's like, shit. And then you have to make a decision whether to pay the money to the company or pay it forward to the old man who owns this like farm shop. And I managed to talk them into at least giving us half. Which we promptly paid the old man, because we thought, fuck the company. And then we had a report from the company going, oh, be aware that we're taking on employee reviews based on your performance. And if you have too much of a negative performance, then we may have to let you go. And then after every of these messages, it always said, but remember, we work for you. And so yeah, that mission fell apart. Then we had to deliver weapons. Easy enough to pick them up. We had a little issue actually, because someone was captured by a bounty hunter. Then he escaped and was like, thanks guys for releasing me. We didn't release him, but the bounty hunter didn't quite see it that way. And after a gunfight, we took these weapons, transported them to this place. And then we were told, oh, well, you could transport these weapons here, or you could give them to the Resistance for half price. So we give them to Resistance, but we had to transport them there. So we had to attack the hobgoblins that were, like, essentially our security detail.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was the most hilarious thing. They had these copters that they were chasing us with, right? And one of them, the hobgoblin was leaning out the window firing while the other one was piloting. So our resident otter, who was the crazy one with the biggest gun ever, he shoots his grenade launcher up at the copter, but he rolled like a really shit damage dice.
Oh.
However, the GM then had to roll a piloting skill for the pilot, and then he fumbled it. So,
no.
so even though he made shit damage, it scared the pilot so much that they crashed into the ground. 12 Imperial Walkers, we gotta hold them up until transports get away. The primary target will be power generators. All they were pirates, they're snow speeders. Okay. But yeah, so yeah. he fired the grenade launcher. You have to, you don't have to aim well with a grenade launcher. It's a grenade launcher, right?
Yeah.
So, what happened is the explosion, it did, as I said, it did minimum damage, but because the flyer failed in his check, he just crashed into a nearby mountain, which was... It's like, okay, that solves that situation. It didn't solve the other situation we had, which was, we killed 2 people that were with us, but then there were another copter dropped down, like 3 more of them. It's kind of like, oh shit. So we finally get to see a snowspeed level. That appears to be the case, Darvel. That does appear to be the case.